tugs on the heart of certain people, and they feel like that call is for them. And it's actually harder for them not to do it. When they see the opportunity that presents itself, it's harder for them to ignore it. And I think that's where each of you are right now. Depending upon what the type of work is, certain people will gravitate to it. And we see that over and over again in the district. We see it over and over again with opportunities for overtime. But this is not an opportunity for overtime. That's not what this is. This is not overtime. This is a response to a call and a yearning and a desire to see others reach their full goal and potential in life. That's what this is. It's you who feel like, you know, I can do something that really matters and makes a difference in the life of a child on a whole nother level. That's what this is. This is not overtime. I don't want anyone to confuse this with, this is an opportunity for overtime. No, I honestly believe that you would be doing this anyway. I believe that there is evidence of this in other places in your life that you're already doing this. That this is just a continuation of a work that you have already committed yourself to, a lifelong journey that you have already committed yourself to. And this is simply looked at as another opportunity for you to minister and to serve our youth. That's what I believe is happening in you right now. That this is not a first time thing. That somewhere in your life, if I were to sit down and interview each of you individually, somewhere in your life you would be pointing to, well, hey Chief, I used to do this, or I'm currently doing this. Or I've always loved coaching or working with young people in this way. That this is just a continuation of that. The only thing that may be different is that the curriculum that comes with the Manhood Project, that he's going to share with you a different strategy, a different approach to how you can connect with children. So the curriculum that he lays out and the foundations of that curriculum will become the foundation of the Bridge Builders Mentoring Academy. The curriculum from the Manhood Project is actually going to be the foundation for the Bridge Builders Academy. Because you have to have something that you're building on that's lasting, that you can continue to refer back to. And so after I kind of looked at the curriculum and I liked what I saw in the direction that it was pointing in, especially as it relates to character building and character development, and then just having all of the curriculum set up for us to be able to easily use and teach from, I felt like, oh, this is the right tool. And I'm sure that Phil is letting you know that, okay, this is not the only type of mentoring program that's out there. I just believe that this one is ideally suited for Rialto Unified School District, and that it speaks directly to the heart of where we are and what we're trying to do strategically with our students and with diversity and understanding that. Our kids are hurting in a lot of ways. And I think that everyone is starting to understand that now. When I was at Coursera just a couple of days ago, and I was talking to the teachers and the administrators at Coursera, and one of the things that I said to them is that there's one thing that we all have in common, is that we've all been impacted by the pandemic. All of us, not just our kids, not just the teachers, parents, everybody has been impacted by this pandemic. And that's why it's so important for us to come together, because of how it has dramatically and even traumatically affected our lives. Many of us in the district right here, Rialto Unified School District, have lost loved ones. And a lot of those that lost loved ones, it was directly a result of the pandemic. It was directly a result of COVID. I'm one of them. That my brother that passed away, it was directly a result of COVID. I have a sister that just passed away less than a month ago. That was a direct result of COVID. It's real. It's very real what's happening. And those of us who are able to try to navigate through this, we need each other. Families have to find ways to come closer together to help each other get through this thing that many of us are still trying to figure out what's happening. What's going on? We're seeing things for the first time that we've never seen in our lifetime. None of us have ever experienced COVID like what we're experiencing in the world. This is a first for us. And because we're like going through this wilderness experience, if there was ever a time that we needed each other, we need each other now. So there's some things that you just kind of have to push aside. We need each other. As adults, we need each other. But even more so, you know who's the most affected? The kids, the little ones, the helpless ones. They're most affected because they have the least amount of experience and understanding about life in general. That life is tough for a kid anyway. And this just takes it to a level that it compounds the situation exponentially 10 times more. But it's tough just growing up anyway. And so you and I really have to lean on each other. Like Bill Withers said, we really gotta lean on each other. And I love the diversity in this room. And that's what represents the culture that we serve. We serve a diverse culture. And we have to share our diversity first and appreciate our diversity with one another first, so that we can learn how to demonstrate that appreciation to those children. And they need to be able to see it as they look into our faces. They need to be able to see that we understand them. So there can be no place and no toleration for insensitivity within this culture. Certain things we can't tolerate. And one of the things we can't tolerate is insensitivity, indifference. And yet we still see that evident in our school district. In our community, we still see the evidences of that insensitivity, that lack of caring and concern for others that don't necessarily look like us. And some of us don't even demonstrate it to the ones who do look like us. We just don't have that sense of care and concern that we should have. So I applaud you. I'm thankful for you. And as you start this next journey through this program with this curriculum, I ask us to really take the time to do some reflection on this next level of commitment that you're getting ready to make, and really that you should have already made in your heart. Because the kids that you will be working with as a mentor, we cannot let them down. We simply just cannot let them down, and we cannot make promises to them that we cannot keep. So that's where I want to encourage you to hold each other accountable. and speak that to each other and remind each other in this group, this core group. When we started the NCTI, Jackson, you recall this, when we started the NCTI, it was just what, 4 of us, maybe 5 or 6 of us that started with the NCTI training, and we said we wanted to do something different. And then now we reached a place where all of the officers that come into safety services now are trained in these behavioral support interventions. Well, this is a new level of commitment. What we're starting in safety services now starts with you. You represent that new group of individuals that's getting ready to take us to that next level. And that's not unusual that that happens when you do something strategically to make it a reality to others. It takes certain people to say, I'll start out. I'll start out with it. Let me be one of them. That's you. You're that group that's starting out strategically with this new move that we're making. And it does me good to be able to share it to the superintendent's cabinet about what we're doing. But this is the next thing that's getting ready to happen. In a couple of weeks, Safety Services has been asked by the school board to come and to share where are we at with regards to safety measures, safety programs. Where are we at in the Rialto Unified School District? And who gets to share on that? Me. I get to share with the board just like I'm sharing with you right now. I get to sit in that seat and talk to them about where are we at and where are we going with regards to safety services, and what kinds of programs and services are we putting in place that will directly impact the school climate. And that simply means how it makes others feel, and that directly affect the school culture, which means what are we doing to create that feeling. Climate talks about how others feel, how you make them feel every day when they come to school. Culture has to do with what are you actually doing that they actually can see. You can see culture. Climate is what you feel. Culture is what you actually see in front of you. And so there's 2 things that you and I have an opportunity to directly impact from this point moving forward, and that's climate and culture. How you make them feel and what they get to actually see. And the 2 of those things should come together. They should support and complement each other. The last thing we want is for us to be saying something, but they're seeing something different. I hear what you're saying, but what you're saying doesn't match with what I'm actually seeing. And so as mentors, you will be doing 2 things. You will be impacting not only students, but you will be impacting staff, other staff, and you will be impacting the family where that kid lives. Their parents, their foster parents, their grandparents, whoever it is that it's their guardian, you will have a direct relationship with those individuals. This is powerful. This is powerful. This is unselfishness on a whole nother level of unselfishness. This is you having the opportunity to pour out an essence of goodness about yourself that you might even surprise yourself. A level of sacrifice that many of you may even surprise yourself. And what will come out of this is that many students will connect with you, latch on to you, and will see their success as a result of them knowing you. Some of you right now are in this room because of somebody that's a part of safety services that impacted your life. Impacted your life so much that now you're doing some of the same work as the person that impacted you. That's a part of safety services. That's what this will result in. is helping that child to fully realize the possibility to reach their full potential in life, not just in Rialto Unified School District, but their full potential in life. You realize how powerful that is? That you get to be the person that it was designed. It was designed for you to be the person to impact the life of somebody else. Somebody else's dream is going to be impacted by them encountering you. That you're going to say something one day to some kid that's going to be resulting in the turning point in that child's life, and they're going to come back and tell you. You remember that day when you spoke to me in the quad and I was crying? I was ready to take my own life that day, but because of what you spoke to me, because nobody else seemed to even notice that I was there, but you noticed me and you started to speak into me. And as a result of that, from that point on, that's when my life changed. That's powerful. To know that that's the seed that you have in you that you're going to plant into somebody else's life, that's going to cause that person's life to take on a whole different trajectory because of what you spoke into their life. That's powerful. And that's what we have to remember every day as we move forward, that who you are. You cannot impact someone's life on a level greater than what your own life has already been impacted. You cannot do it. You have to already been impacted by that what you want the other person to believe. Because they will sense it in you whether or not if it's real or not. You can't pour realness into somebody if you don't have it. So I applaud you. I thank you. This is more than just you being an officer. This is greater than the position, and I say that to you all the time. It's not about the position. It's about the mission. And our mission is to impact lives in a positive way and to help them stay on course with that journey, that lifelong journey. That's what our mission is about. And to help them to understand and get that to illuminate them where that light comes on. Like, oh, I get it. I see what you're saying now. Coaches, how many coaches? Any coaches in the room? Used to be coaches, former coaches, any coaches in the room. You know what happens when you're working with that kid on those plays and that kid one day says, I got it now. I see it now. The light just came on, coach. I didn't understand what you was trying to tell me. And once they get it, once it connects, you don't have to keep telling them that point anymore. They get it and they can run with it. You're life coaches. Each of you are life coaches. I have confidence in you. I believe in you. And we're going to do great things. We will do great things. So thank you again. I just wanted to come over this morning, give you a little pep talk, let you know how much I care about you, let you know how much I appreciate you, and just continue to keep doing the great work that you're doing. And anything that I can help in that effort, I want to be able to do that.